Happy October 1st, the first day of my birthday month. Yes, you all, with birthdays in October, you should just take the whole month like I do. Um, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about, now that we're getting into fall, starting to go towards the comfort food, the award-winning chili recipes like Carrie was alluding to. But I'm going to connect some nutrition tips with your Enneagram number. If anyone's talked to me for any period of time, even a snippet, you probably heard me talk about the Enneagram or even try to ask you what your Enneagram is. I've been fascinated with it for probably 3-4 years now. And in fact, all of our staff have taken the Enneagram, every single one. And I've even done a lunch and learn on it. And if you have any questions about the Enneagram, please ask me, or you could also ask any of our staff. So the basics of the Enneagram, it's just a 9-point personality typing system, and it just kind of demonstrates how we each adapted to receive love and validation as children. So it's not just what you are, like a typical personality typing system, it's why you are. All of our unconscious motivations, our core fears, our core desires. So today I'm going to talk to you about how it relates to our relationship with food, because it is a relationship and it is a very significant relationship, right? It has the power to absolutely change the way that we relate and interact with ourselves, our friends, our family, our communities. Food's got a lot of power over us, right? We need it to survive, obviously. It's social and communal. It brings people together. It's very cultural and environmental, but it also triggers fear, pain, shame, guilt. It's a source of self-abuse, can cause anxiety, isolation, disappointment, frustration. So I thought I would break it down. And there are 9 numbers on the Enneagram, and they're separated into 3 centers or triads. And so today I'm going to talk about the body center, which is your Enneagram 8s, 9s, and 1s. So the body center is the body, right? So it's very action oriented. These are the types that go against the grain, and they have issues with anger. They're either really good or bad, I guess, at expressing it, or they repress it, like they're stuffers, right? Our very own Teresa is a Enneagram 9. Carrie, you're a 1. So we've got 2 body centers right here as panelists. So each of our numbers, when it says our core fears, our core, like if there's vices and virtues, the vices of the 8, the vice is lust. And it's not in a sexual sense, it's lust. They want more of power, more of everything. They're called the challenger. They're likened to a snowplow. They're very justice driven. And so they're either plowing over you or they're plowing for you. And you'll know if you're being plowed over. So on a nutrition level, I like to call these the overindulgent craver. They're powerful and passionate. They have very strong desires, and they know what they want and how to get it. They know who the strongest, most powerful person is when they walk into a room, because it's them, right? So they have strong cravings for highly palatable foods. They're very prone to overeating and indulging on unhealthy foods, especially in social situations. Todd will tell you a story about when I was training for, it might have been my first show I've ever done, and eating very clean. And he thought, this is going to be great. I'm going to eat so healthy with my wife. And he ended up going completely off the rails the other way and eating chimichangas and really not great things for you. It's because they don't like the restrictions. They don't want to be controlled at all. And so that's why diets are hard, because they want to be in control. So for an 8, you can instead practice vulnerability. The V word is real hard for them, but practice some vulnerability with someone you trust and ask for help. Oh my gosh, there are people that are actually really knowledgeable in this, right? So changing habits is hard, and especially when it comes to food. And since they desire to control their environment, they can also desire to take control of their health. Don't restrict or make rules They do not like rules. So don't make rules because you're just going to break them and then you're going to feel like a failure. So instead, just maintain my freedom of choice while being mindful of your portion sizes and your hunger levels, and then get support and stick to your goals. 8s are very goal driven, so it should be very easy for them. And then we have our 9s. Their vice is sloth. They tend to just be lazy in just taking action. And they're also called the peacemaker. So they are the ones that are just the mediator. They don't want to ruffle feathers. They just want, they're the ones that are like, can't we all just get along? They're also called the passive eaters. They hate conflict. They're disconnected from their wants and needs regarding food. Regarding pretty much everything, but all as it relates to nutrition, but with food. So they suppress their own needs and desires just to maintain harmony, keep the peace. And so they want to choose foods to fit in with the group. So if you ask a 9, hey, do you want Mexican or Thai? And they say, I don't know what you want. I don't know, I want Thai. And they hate Thai. They would say, sure, that sounds great. I love Thai. So don't do that. Don't choose foods just to fit in. Sometimes they're even unaware of their own preferences. Like, have you guys ever seen Julia Roberts? I think it's A Runaway Bride, where she didn't know what kind of eggs she liked. She just, whatever her current fiance liked is the eggs she liked. So, and then they can also use food as an escape from anger, stress, or their emotions. It's kind of just a tool to numb out. So instead, practice setting boundaries. I know it's really hard for a 9, but it's very powerful, and people will absolutely love you just as much and respect you even more. And you don't always have to make decisions based on the needs of others. And then if you're going to social events, bring healthy dishes that you like to share with everyone. And then to avoid being pressured by others, because they can really be pressured. Like, they succumb to peer pressure like no other. So because they don't want to explain why, or explain what they're doing or why it's important, or they change the subject, or they just walk away. And then remember, someone's pressuring you to indulge, and you just really don't want to because you're sticking to your goals. Remember that no, period, is one complete sentence. The whole 2 letters is one whole sentence. And then we go to our 1s. Our 1s are the perfectionists. Who wouldn't we want to be in our marketing department, but to lead heading up our marketing department, but a perfectionist. Their core fear or vice is anger. And so they're really good though at suppressing it or directing it on themselves. So they very much have like the shame game. They have a tape on loop in their head. So they are also considered I would consider them the all or nothing eater. They have very strong beliefs on what's right and wrong. And there's either good food or bad food. There's not like a happy medium. There's extreme. They have the all or nothing mindset, and either they're perfectly good or perfectly bad. So if they try to go on a diet, it's to the letter, and they are whipping out their scale at the dinner table at the restaurant because it has to be perfect. So instead, remember that perfection when it comes to eating is not the point. Progress is the point. And so making healthier choices more often is progress, right? It's okay to indulge from time to time without guilt and shame, because you know that you're making progress and you're making choices that are healthier more often than you're not. Ask Carrie about her diet, by the way. Like, it is pretty much perfection. All foods can fit in to any lifestyle, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, raging carnivore, carbivore. If you remove the rigid rules and expectations, you can absolutely fit anything that you crave in. And then when you start doing this, food begins to lose power over you. And then 1s can start embracing some balance in their life. It doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. So that is it for the body center. Next Friday, we'll talk about the heart center, the 2s, 3s, and 4s that they are making emotions, or they're ruled by their emotions, their heart, right? So I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I hope you have great weather and see some fall colors. And as always, be distinctive.